Yesterday night. Evil Dead Burning. Alright. This was this is the first one. Evil Dead Rising. The first one is actually really scary, so this shit. I actually love scary movies, by the way. Here's some scratching, that's my dog. Trying to find the right spot to lay
What's up, sis?
I had the most beautiful dream. It was the perfect day. And all I could think about was how much I wanted to cut you all open and then climb inside your bodies. So that we could stay one happy family.
Yo. So this was the first one that I watched. It was actually really scary. I went to the movies. There's a couple. I think this came out a couple years ago, but this shit is like OD.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother,
What is this, Danny?
I found it.
what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me.
Open up now.
You don't look so good, Mom.
Nothing a big old kiss from you won't fix.
I'm getting us out of here. I promise.
You'd be a good mom someday, honey pie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know how to like kids. Yeah. You know how to... Mom?
Mommy's with the maggots now.
Alright, so this is the movie, right? And 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 so this is the movie, right? So this is actually a movie, like I said before. It was like really scary. It's actually like a franchise, but then they actually came out with this one, which is Evil Dead Rising.
Evil Dead Burn made me sick to my stomach, and I loved every second of it. Today on Popcorn Root Beer, I'm here to break it down for you and tell you whether or not you should be going to see the newest entry in the Evil Dead series. Let's get into it. Now, quick context of what Evil.
Okay, wait, hold on. I don't like this one really. Pretty much this movie right here. You could watch a preview of it. It should be the sequel of this one, but in the first Evil Dead, they pretty much in the house. I'm gonna give you spoilers. They pretty much in the home. They read a book, and then the book opened up a different chapter to having the demons and shit come. So that's why the demons take over everybody. I think they were able to escape, but one at the end, spoiler alert, one girl, I guess the demon got into this other random girl because they was living in like some junky ass apartment. So this is Evil Dead Burn, spoiler alert, that just came out and came out like yesterday, but it's like totally different from the other ones, which I definitely don't think that it was as scary. But let's actually watch the preview. I think the preview is actually, you could totally see it from the difference of yeah.
All right, you ready?
Thank you, Joseph. That was beautiful.
No. That's Will's seat.
Where's the wedding ring?
Alice, you were his wife. Why aren't you wearing it?
I'm not sure.
Did you sell it?
No, of course not.
And get a good price.
I really think we should do this another time.
No, now's the best time.
Will's looking down on us from above.
From above. He's down below.
William, my sweet boy. I would give anything for us to be together again.
My grandfather believed the devil would return.
So that's the book from the. I think it's like, it's not from the first one, because a book from the first one, I think it was called like the Book of the Dams or whatever, and then they found it in the first one, like under the building where I guess it was like some religious area. But they actually make a reference to it in this one for that, I guess their dad or grandfather was like a priest that was chasing all of them and stuff like that. So
If anyone read from the Book of the Dead,
Calm down.
The whole family can be reunited.
yeah, and that movie, that part was actually like really, really, really intense. I would also say like the thing about this movie too, right? Which is like, I've been paying attention more to like very angles and like just angles and how a camera is set up and stuff like that. Like from the way they position the camera to turn into a scene, like it's kind of crazy. Like this scene, like you were watching, like it was like the way they adjusted it from like that was like.
Cheers to your perfect family.
Yeah, that was like an intense one. But let's watch and see what he says, his review on it, because I think that the first one was better than this one. This one was okay, but it wasn't as scary. But it's like, if you watch, like, you could do 50-50 if you want to watch it at the movie theaters. But that's what I would say. Let's see. All right, cool. Let's see.
Want to lose weight without losing muscle? Factor got me there. I was tired of all the cutting and bulking cycles, so instead.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. Evil Dead Burn is finally here, and in this video we're going to talk about, is it actually scary? How gory does it get? All spoiler free, by the way. And finally, is this the first miss in a franchise that really hasn't had a full-on miss yet in its franchise history? We're going to talk about all that and more. I was very excited for this coming out. I mean, Sebastian Vanacek, the director of this, he got the job from Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell because he made a movie called Infested about spiders that they liked a lot. He was like, I want to make a horror movie so nasty and so depraved, and I'm going to take all the stuff out of the basement until I never want to make another horror movie again. And I was like, them's big balls words right there. And I can't wait to see how this plays out for him, Cotton. Now, there's no accounting for taste is possibly the problem here. The bare bones story of all this, to keep it completely spoiler free, and man, is it bare bones, is that there's a grieving family of, well, just really unfucking likable people for the most part, including a dad who looks like the kind of guy that you definitely want to avoid at a gas station late at night, and a mom who looks like she's in a book club with Miss Carmody from The Mist. God, I hated that woman. She acts like she's in a book club with Miss Carmody from The Mist. And there is the widowed wife who is our final girl of the movie, and she's not bad by any means, but they never give her a personality for the most part. It's just like, hey, she's been through some shit. I've never been like an Evil Dead has to have Ash guy. There's no Evil Dead without Bruce Campbell. I enjoyed the remake, and I enjoyed Rise somewhat, not nearly as much. To this point, that was my least favorite in the franchise, even though I liked it and enjoyed it for what
I agree. This is actually my least
favorite. What it was. But Rise felt like it had this thing where it was like, all right, this worked. But like, if we keep doing those, it's not going to work for that long. It needs, something else. But Rise had a couple of really interesting people in it. And this doesn't have that. So this really falls off that cliff in terms of, can we really just keep doing Evil Dead movies where it's just one nasty gag after the other? And I think this proved that we can't. For the next movies going forward, we're going to have a character that we can latch onto. I'm not saying for every movie, but there just has to be an interesting personality. This movie lacked a single interesting personality whatsoever throughout it. But when it comes...
I agree with him on that, Tay, because it's just like the other ones, I think these movies really revolve around like family and like, some hardship or whatever, but I couldn't really like it didn't have somebody that was stuck on like, or gave it like a plot. And I feel like if they gave it a plot, I think it would have been way better, in my opinion.
Comes to the gore, they got that shit right. I mean, the gore, I can't believe that this movie's an R rating. I don't know how the hell they got an R rating. Specifically, one scene where I'll just call it Smushy Face McGee. I was watching it like, dear God, that's really, really nasty. I'm shocked that this is not unrated whatsoever. It's probably the goriest movie of the year. The Mummy and it neck and neck. I'd have to really think about that. But the gore's there, and they do a great job of the gore. And you know what? The gore effects look good too. That's one of the only things I'm going to say looks good about this movie. It is so fucking ugly. I mean, damn, it's ugly. Like, it's so ugly. There's no like, hey, I had a few drinks.
You know what else I noticed too with this? They actually put in a lot of like the camera, like they use like a dark tone color with it, which is like actually like pretty good when you watching a scary movie. Like there's no bright, like everything is dull in the movie.
Last night, and then I woke up the next day and I realized it was ugly. No, you could be trash drunk and still be like, this fucking thing, I'm not going near it with a 10-foot pole. It's filthy ugly. The entire film is. I don't know what they were doing with the cinematography. It looks like a straight to VOD film released during COVID. It does not look like a theatrical release. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. In the location they were at for the opening, it looked good. The way the camera work looked good. The opening is great, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's a lot like the opening to Rise, really. And it really sets the tone. You're like, all right, we're going to Fucktown. Here we go. But once you get to the house, what used to be a feature becomes a bug. Talking about the isolated location of the entire thing. This house is gray, dull, ugly, and the whole thing looks like someone just painted it in digital coat. The Deadites look like a sort of video gamey. I wouldn't throw away this director's abilities. I think he has somewhat of an idea. This just never had a pace to it, man. Like, we're in the house and it's just like, all right, Deadite's gonna do something fucked up, and it is fucked up. One guy does a thing with a gun that I was like, I've never been fucked up enough to even think about someone doing that. If you watch a movie like Evil Dead Rise, and you're like, all right, the cheese grater, there's some nasty stuff in there, but you're like, it really just didn't have that, that next level of fucked up quite that much. This does. Right up there with the Mummy, as far as just someone really sat around for a really long time and thought of some really nasty shit, and good on them for that. But I just did not care about any of these characters, so it was never suspenseful for me at all. The camera work is just trying to do too much at times.
I disagree with him. I think the camera work is like really excellent on this movie. That like scary movies are not scary anymore. You have to give it more of a suspense. So when you're giving it more of a suspense, you kind of have to make sure the camera angles pop right when it needs to pop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes camera angles don't really like it just got to make sense, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it has to give it like that's how it becomes scary in a sense.
Times you kind of lose sight. There's like a chase scene and you're like, all right, where are we in the fucking Jason Bourne house right now? But this just didn't feel connected to anything. It felt like an unauthorized reproduction of Evil Dead. It felt tacky. It felt like Ed Hardy presents Evil Dead. It's Evil Dead with bedazzled jeans. There's a point where a guy in a morgue does an entire like rapping to himself thing. The music that plays at the end of it's kind of tacky. That's where I get the Ed Hardy bedazzled jeans thing from. It's got this weird vibe to it. It's not my taste. Like, none of this was my taste at all. And the ending, the last set piece just goes full on fucking Terminator ass are we doing here? Just not really fitting. They push the lore forward with a couple things. Yeah, a little bit. There's a couple new things that they introduced to Evil Dead, and it's like that. It's kind of cool in like an Army of Darkness sort of way. But also, I don't know if the movie made it interesting enough. I don't know if they'll ever use that again. You'll know what I'm talking about if you saw it. It's kind of like a magic whistle type situation, and it's just it's fine. That stuff is fine. But you know, these Deadites, they just aren't your typical Deadites. They never did anything cool with that floating motion in the trailer. I thought that was going to lead to something. It never does. A lot of the stuff's honestly in the trailer for sure. But these Deadites alone, they just don't lack any sort of like personality or coolness whatsoever. They've got these ugly eye contacts in that changes them, and again, this grayest CG look to them. And like, sometimes you're not even sure if someone's a Deadite or not, because some people in this movie are just fucking, you know, act like crackheads anyway, so it's hard to tell. And I don't know, dude, it's like, does it go there? Yes, it goes there with the gore. It tries.
Yeah, I think he's like too much of a hard critic on this. I'm not really feeling all his take. I just don't think that Evil Dead Burning was a great that too great.